just joined us on the System After Dark, this is a homegrown number courtesy of E3 and Cracker. Bulla, how's it going? I'm D, your host on the System After Dark, right here on Today FM. Today's hit music. You can catch me weeknights at 7 p.m. That's from Monday to Friday, only on the home of Today's hit music. And don't forget, that's D with you every weeknight on the System After Dark. Even got that homebrew flowing.
This is FBC News. I'm Jackie Spade. Coming up tonight, the Prime Minister lashes out at attempts by Social Democratic Liberal Party to influence the release of 70 people arrested for sedition. Rotemumu says they care for all and not only chosen few. And Defence Minister says indications are influential people behind attempted sedition. The Prime Minister has lashed out at further attempts by the President of the Social Democratic Liberal Party to influence the release of 70 people arrested for sedition. Porenge Bainimarama has warned that those from the opposition encouraging people to uprise will never be successful. Eleanor Tarangai View reports.
The Prime Minister is not impressed at all with Ratu Nengama Lalambalavu's attempt to meet with him to influence the release of those charged with sedition.
It's like he's threatening the people of Fiji that if I don't sit with him, this uprising will continue. I want to tell him that police and the military have got it covered. He doesn't have to worry about it. There will be no uprising.
Porenge Bainimarama says he has promised all Fijians there won't be a repeat of 2000. The Prime Minister says he is sad that those arrested are being used by shadowy figures. He says these poor and vulnerable people will lose out if they're convicted and jailed, tearing them away from their families and a livelihood.
And where are the people prompting them? Some of them are in this house. If you sit and listen to the comments made from the parliament, some of them are in this parliament, prompting these people to uprise.
The Prime Minister says Ratu Nengama simply doesn't understand that the courts can't be told what to do.
He doesn't understand what he's talking about. I can't do that. I have separate powers from the judiciary, from the court system. I can't tell the court to release them.
The Prime Minister says Ratu Nengama's relevancy to him is limited to his presidency of SODELPA, adding the SODELPA president should sort out his party's split instead of telling him how to do his job. Eleanor Tarangai View, FBC News.
Meanwhile, Bainimarama has refused to meet with the SODELPA President Ratu Nengama Lalambalavu. Ratu Nengama had sought an audience with the Prime Minister to discuss issues which he says are challenging the indigenous Fijian. Bainimarama says there will be no symposium, gathering or meeting with the suspended MP, adding it is a cheap publicity stunt.
Wants to reassure the people of Fiji, warn the members of parliament. Come and fix his party, his SDL party, and then warn the people on his side of the house to say the right things in parliament. Maybe the first thing they should do is accept the 2013 constitution.
Ratu Nengama is expected back in the country today and is to convene the SODELPA Management Board to discuss complaints made against opposition leader Rotemumu Kepa. Leader of Opposition Rotemumu Kepa says she is simply practicing humanity. This after she was reported to have commented about the health and welfare of some of the accused persons charged with sedition in Ra and Singatoka earlier in the week.
You know, they are human beings, eh? You're a human being. Anything that happens to you, anything that happens to everyone, we should be concerned about it, as human beings.
70 people have so far been charged in relation to sedition, communal antagonism, and inciting political violence. Of these 70, 6 are women and 64 are men, all of whom have been remanded in custody. Recent events in Ra and Nadronga, which have resulted in the subsequent charging of 70 people for sedition and related offences, indicate there are influential people behind the move. Defence Minister Timothy Natuva made the statement while delivering his ministerial address in Parliament this afternoon.
Defence Minister Timothy Natuva says the allegation of military-style training is correct and the Fiji police force is gathering more information to provide to the court for more charges to be laid.
Given Fiji's history in such incidences and the significant number of individuals involved, there is a reason to believe that there are more influential people behind these moves to create an illegal independent state, and further that racial antagonism is being misused to promote these ideologies.
Timothy Natuva says because of the alleged involvement of weaponry arms during the training, the military is now involved in the investigation, with the police force taking the lead role. The minister also lashed out at the National Federation Party for keeping silent on the sedition matters before the court when they have time and again spoken out against the coup culture. In response, opposition MP and NFP President Tupou Dorindalo says the NFP did not make any statement in this regard so far as the matter is before court of law.
I am very proud to say National Federation Party has never instigated, supported, never will support an unlawful overthrow of an elected government, including this government. We will never support an unlawful overthrow of an elected government.
Opposition MP William Ngavoka brought up the issue of armed military personnel in Tava yesterday, saying Fiji's democracy is young and a wrong message should not be sent to the outside world.
Deputy Speaker, instead of sending the troops, why didn't we get 2 bus loads of parliamentarians and go down there and ask them, what can we do? What is the problem? That is what we should do as leaders. We must create goodwill.
All 70 accused charged in relation to seditious activities have been remanded in custody. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
A number of top diplomats will attend the Pacific Islands Development Forum in Suva next week. Among them will be the Commonwealth Secretary-General Kamalesh Sharma. Julie Vatuwaliwali reports.
To this House, the preparations are well underway.
Speaking of this year's summit in Parliament, Minister of Foreign Affairs Ratu Inoke Kumbombola says with so many top diplomats present, it will be a landmark event.
Madam Speaker, we have registered participants from Israel, Kazakhstan, the Foreign Minister of Kazakhstan is coming, Kuwait, United Kingdom, China, Chile, just to name a few.
Permanent Secretary of Foreign Affairs Esala Nayasi says currently the foundation members of the summit is 17 and the ministry has received 11 confirmed countries attending.
We are anticipating, the meeting to be really well represented at the leaders level. And another important point that I would like to raise also is that they are coming with the representatives of civil societies and private sectors. So recognizing the vision and the mission of PIDF, represented by 3 sectors of society, by all sectors of societies who matters most. These leaders have seen the wisdom of bringing their various representatives in the meeting as well.
Nayasi says countries that have so far confirmed attendance are Tuvalu, Nauru, Kiribati, Tonga, French Polynesia, Tokelau, Fiji, amongst a few others. Meanwhile, partnering with the PIDF Secretariat, ANZ Bank has also become part of the summit this year. The 3rd Pacific Islands Development Forum Summit will be held at the Grand Pacific Hotel in Suva, Fiji from the 3rd to the 4th of September this year. Julie Vatuwaliwali, FBC News.
After the break, Health Ministry recruits 400 new staff.
Number 2 in the series and on an independent central rental support Nisabula.
Oya wa watisoni dalai.
Gonga yang masih dong.
Nama kikirau mena tolu kena betu. Ena via kami moliti kena porombuka.
Goria na lali ne kami. Bula FM number 2 in the series.
A one-day agriculture symposium in the Western Division today targeted the needs and concerns of farmers and exporters in the agriculture sector. The meeting also acts as a follow-through after the temporary suspension of some exports to New Zealand 3 weeks ago. Madhyam Bolaitamana with the story.
But the protocol is not followed all the time.
Apart from hearing the dreams, aspirations and concerns of those in the agriculture export business, it was time to thrash out a number of issues.
By getting everybody, the regulators, facilitators, and the marketing agent and the producers all together in one places on a platform, what we hope to achieve is that we get a common goal and a common solution.
For the agriculture sector, it was a timely opportunity to take into account the issues raised to ensure funding facilities are available to enhance growth in the sector.
We can't accommodate each individual request, so that was the challenge that I challenged the exporters with. Get yourselves organized, the fund is with us. So we will see, we will reprioritize, then we will take it on from there in terms of implementation of the different programs or projects for 2016.
Wimbuta also points out a number of areas that are a cause for concern from government's view.
Gone are the days where farmers need to work individually. You need to get yourself organized into clusters, into groups, into associations. Once that is done, then we can hear voice or representatives from, be it commodity association or from area associations. Then whatever assistance or message needs to go down or being implemented is easier done once we are organized at the ground level.
The symposium travels to the Central and Eastern Divisions tomorrow and will continue next week. Madhyum Bolai Tamana, FBC News.
More than 400 medical staff have been recruited so far this year. According to the Health Minister, Chone Osumate, the extraordinary recruitment drive is expected to continue over the next 2 years to increase the doctor-to per person ratio. Maggie Boyle reports.
Minister for Health Chone Osumate today explaining the use of their budget allocations of $10.8 million for the recruitment of medical staff.
We will be increasing the intake of doctors and nurses so we can get to the ratios that we need. Our target is ultimately to get to a ratio of 1 doctor per 1,000 head of population. That is something that we project to be able to achieve around 2017 or 2018, provided we can maintain the attrition of doctors.
Breaking down the numbers, Osumate says the initial recruitment drive has covered a number of positions.
We have recruited 126 doctors, 238 nurses, 10 laboratory technicians, 12 dietitians, 17 dentists, 4 medical imaging technologists. Total cost of this recruitment currently stands at $9.6 million.
While an additional budget was allocated specifically for 114 doctors, the minister concedes that the hire so far has fallen short.
$0.8 million was for the recruitment of doctors and nurses into the urban hospitals. As we speak, 71 doctors have been recruited at a total cost of $2.1 million, and out of the nurses that were supposed to be recruited under that provision, 215 nurses have also been recruited to work into the urban hospitals.
The Health Minister was responding to a question put to him in Parliament today by Opposition MP Dr. Biman Prasad. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
The Atlas Trading warehouse fire yesterday is believed to have been the biggest in Fiji this year. It took about 50 firefighters almost 7 hours to douse the blaze at the warehouse, located in the industrial area at Viria East Vatuanga Suva. Meanwhile, the NFA has begun its investigation into the fire. Chief Executive John O'Connor says the investigation began this morning and the findings will be given to the relevant authorities. He has denied claims by eyewitnesses and nearby businesses that the lack of water was an issue yesterday.
We utilized 2 fire hydrants in the area, and that was enough. We had enough water. Water was not an issue in this firefighting. It was the magnitude of the fire and the contents of the building, which made firefighting a huge challenge, together with the strong winds. Water authority was there on time. They assisted us in terms of engaging 2 hydrants, and that was sufficient in terms of operation.
Atlas Trading Limited owner Naveen Chandra has not been allowed at the site as yet. He is unable to tell the cost of damage at this stage. The fire destroyed the warehouse with all its contents. The Korean Embassy last night held a forum aimed at enhancing the awareness and understanding of the general situation on the Korean Peninsula and Korea's unification policy. Government officials and diplomatic corps were briefed on the status of the inter-Korean relationship. Savaira Thambua has more.
Korea's unification policy involves with how issues on the Korean Peninsula which houses the Democratic People's Republic in the north and the Republic of Korea in the south, have been dealt with in the international framework. Korean Ambassador Kim Seong-in says Fiji is the hub of the Pacific and will be grateful if the information on the status pertaining Korean Peninsula could be shared amongst other Pacific Island countries.
The first-hand experience just duly convey to the people of the Fijian people and exactly know about the situation. And also those sometimes tragic cases, also very regretful cases in Korea. So exactly understand and also maybe would like to get some feedback from your people.
Seong-in had shared some of the impacts that were experienced at the Korean Peninsula.
They developed a long range of missiles. More than 13,000 kilometer missiles from North Korea to even covering the USA or all the Pacific Island countries as well.
The Minister for Defense, National Security and Immigration, Timothy Natuva, believes the forum is part of the ongoing effort to promote international understanding and awareness of the unification process. Sabera Tambua, FBC News.
Sports is up next. Here's Jamie with the latest.
Thank you, Jackie, and good evening. Coming up in sports tonight, John McKee pleased with the progress flying Fijians forwards are making, and Minister for Sports speaks of a possible second international golf tournament for Fiji. This and more after the break.
छू 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 हे नमस्ते फीजी, आपके हर एक प्रॉब्लम की दवा लेकर मैं आ गई हूँ 9 से 12 बजे तक आपकी सहेली रेनू। छू 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 40 में 20 का दिखना है। मैं हूँ ना आपके साथ में मिर्ची एफएम पर 9 से 12 बजे तक मंडे टू फ्राइडे। मिर्ची, इट्स हॉट।
The Vodafone Flying Fijians have stepped up the tempo of training as the clock winds down to the Rugby World Cup. A lot of focus right now remains on the forwards, with the coaching staff working hard to ensure Fiji has a competitive pack. Indra Singh has more.
Forward play has long been an issue for the Flying Fijians, but this World Cup things are about to change for the better.
We believe in ourselves. We've been doing a lot of hard work. The challenge here is that you do a lot of hard work in camp, and probably the return to us, or the real light, will be when we play Canada. We'll see how far we've advanced from the PNC. We know we have to advance, so we do want to see some movement.
Fijian backs are the most deadly in the universe, but without good quality forward play, the backline is nullified.
Oh, look, I think the scrum work has been excellent this week, and I've seen a real lift there in how the scrum's been able to operate as a unit.
Miwa has been putting the forwards through tough phases in the last 2 months and believes improvement is paramount.
Particularly the English and Welsh sides, they tend to play a game that is based around set plays and looking for territory from putting us under pressure. So we've been working hard in that area to accommodate and to really nullify as best we can that.
After all, Fiji will be up against some of the best forwards in the world during pool play at the tournament.
Our line out also, that the players are looking much sharper. We still need to work on our timing a little bit, but our speed of movement and getting the players in there has been excellent.
4 more days before the Flying Fijians depart for the Rugby World Cup. A jovial mood in the camp as the players get ready to fly the Fijian flag in London and Wales. You can hear them singing, cheering and being happy during training. It will all get serious as they set foot in London. Indra Singh, FBC Sports.
Now, the Sungeta family name is synonymous with rugby in Fiji and abroad. Now, the youngest of the Sungeta brothers is ready to continue the family legacy at this year's Rugby World Cup. Indra Singh caught up with Nemia Sungeta at training today.
Tagged as the baby of the Sungeta family, Nemia is ready to make a name for himself by playing for his nation at the upcoming Rugby World Cup.
Such an honor for me and my family making this team.
it's been a dream come true for myself, and I assure you for my family as well, fully supporting me.
His brothers Tomasi and Noah have played at the top level before, and now it's the turn for the youngest to keep the family name burning strong.
It's quite a taunting moment for me, getting me named for the team, knowing that they always call me the weakest brother, but for me making it this far, I call myself the toughest one, and I look forward to showing it on the field when I play.
And in a true sportsman fashion, Nehemiah says the team selected is the best and will sure do the nation proud.
Our main focus is just to train well and take each game as it comes, and play the whole 80-minute game.
The side's camaraderie is another that is giving the lanky forward much belief.
Took care of each other, and it's such a sad thing knowing that one is to go away from the group, and it makes the group a lot stronger, knowing that the left of a group is the group that's going to have to take and play for the group Fiji.
It's now the time for the one tagged as the weakest out of the siblings to make a mark. After all, he is doing it for the love of the family and the passion of the country. Indra Singh, FBC Sports.
Meanwhile, the Flying Fijians presented its itatau to President Ratoipeli Nailatikau at Government House today. Ratoipeli took the opportunity to give the team the country's blessings, but also reminded them of the importance of the journey they were setting out on. He also had a timely message for the side amidst predictions from rugby pundits around the world.
This year, it's different. You have some of the best sports writers and the top international players are saying that Fiji is going to do well. It's going to surprise a lot of people. Don't let that get into your head. You have to acquit yourself on the field. And you've been training for that all this time.
Today, arena distributors signed on as sponsors of bowling's Banana Cup for the 15th consecutive year. Also announced at the signing today was the new format that will be used in this year's competition, with both the men's and women's teams playing in the same category. Defending champion Semesa Naiseruvati knows with the category now open, it will make it even harder for him to defend his title.
It's always feel good to win competition, but when you come in to defend it, yes, of course, you have to go to another, most probably second, third gear. We can see that some of the teams have been selected to go for the Asia Pacific Championship in Christchurch in November. They've teamed up. A good team we're looking at Arun Kumar and Raj. Also, Litya Tikoisuba playing with Mrs. Ma.
The two-day competition starts this Saturday at the Suva Bowling Club. At the Skyline Fiji Police Inter-District Championship today, defending champions Northern were held to a scoreless draw against Southern 2. In other matches played today, Simeone Tamanisau and Aquila Mataisuva's team, Police Special Response Unit, and Eastern played to a 1-1 draw. Western 2, which featured former Mumbai and Suva rep Ronald Lawrence, beat Inosi Dava's headquarters 2-1. The police team to feature at the Schooner Bowl will be named after the final on Saturday at the Nasova grounds in Nasese. Another major international golf tournament could be headed our way in the near future. Talks are underway with organizers from an Asian country to host a tournament which would follow in the footsteps of the inaugural Fiji International at Natandola last year.
The impacts of this Fiji International Golf Tournament in Natandola that took place in 2014, the Korean PGA has taken interest to avoid the Korean winter. They have recommended Fiji golf courses. Consultation has been ongoing, and they have already visited the 3 golf courses in Fiji, and negotiation and consulting with the Fiji ambassador in Korea for their confirmation.
Meanwhile, the second Fiji International Tournament will be held at the Natandola Bay Championship Golf Course in Singatoka from the 15th to the 18th of October. That's it from Sports Tonight. Good evening.
RC Manubai's Roofing and Profiles division launched their newest Kingspan line last night at the Holiday Inn in Suva. Kingspan Insulation is a market-leading manufacturer of rigged insulation products and insulated systems. Its products have many advantages over traditional insulation materials such as man-made mineral fibre. Speaking at the launch last night, Chief Guest Minister for Trade Fayaz Koya said the introduction of Kingspan products into the Fiji market will benefit all Fijians.
The availability of such an extensive range of high-performance insulations for roofs and walls will make homes and buildings more energy efficient and cut back on health and safety risks due to their durable fiber-free constitution, and offer a host of other benefits that make our homes and buildings safer and more sustainable.
Roofing and Profiles Fiji Limited is the exclusive agents for the Kingspan products in Fiji and around the Pacific. Another day of generally sunny skies across Fiji today, except for some brief scattered showers around Suva and Savu. Temperatures felt lower than they were due to cool southerly winds. Nadi and Ba hit 29 degrees, Lautoka 27, Suva and Lambasa 26. Tomorrow looks like more of the same. Expect a chance of scattered morning or evening showers in Suva and Savu, while across the rest of the country it will be a fine day with cool southerly winds. Looking ahead to the weekend, the current trend of the fine weather is expected to continue. For mariners, a strong wind warning is in effect for all Fiji water seas. The main points again. The Prime Minister has lashed out at attempts by Social Democratic Liberal Party to influence the release of 70 people arrested for sedition. Rote Mumu says they care for all and not only a chosen few when asked on comments about those in custody. And Defence Minister reveals that indications are influential people are behind attempted sedition. On to our poll question in this week, we're asking, are current measures for public service vehicle inspections adequate? Visit our FBC website to take part. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page, FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply #FBC News. You've been watching FBC News. I'm Jackie Spade. Good night.